Hello students, welcome to Medical360 and Career360. Every time a result comes, there is a topper and there are about 7-8 coaching institutions which claim that topper has studied with them. This time around what we did was we actually said, okay, even before the results come, can we actually go and interview each of these potential toppers? How do we know about that? Because once the answer key comes out and OMR sheets come out, we very clearly know how the students have performed, and based on that we actually can say who is the likely guy or a girl who is likely to be the topper of this country. And the top 10, top 20, top 100, we do track them out. And this time we did exactly a similar exercise. We went back and spoke to the potential toppers before the results came in. And as we spoke to them, we also asked them a simple question. Where have they studied and what is the coaching institution? Now what we're doing is, once the results have come out, we are now actually trying to collate or correlate what the students said before the results came in with what exactly has happened in terms of the claims that they made, the coaching institutions made, and how the topper also behaved in a particular way. And when we look at that, there's a massive difference between what was told to us before the result versus what's actually happened after the result. And the ruse is simple. There is a student is always taking a classroom coaching, or most of the toppers do take a classroom coaching. But what happens is, a student is going through a coaching institution. Parallelly, the student is also possibly taking some kind of tests from different places. The test centers, the mock tests they might be taking because they want to practice more and more and more. Or they might be taking test series from some of the coaching institutions because they would want to practice that. Now, what you're going through in a classroom is dramatically different from what you're going through in a distance learning mode or an online mode or a test series mode. But the coaching institutions mix all these things and put them together as if that topper actually only studied with them. There is a lot of misrepresentation in that. The good coaching institutions very clearly say that they're from distance learning program or the online program or the test series program and those kind of things. But many don't even say that. The other thing that happens is what you call talent scouts. What happens in this particular case, one faculty who's teaching in one particular coaching institution moves to another coaching institution. And when the faculty is moving, they also take the possible toppers along with them to that other coaching institution. Just because the faculty out there was sold, and the faculty was also given an incentive to bring potential toppers to the coaching institution, and there is an incentive structure that is declared for them. And the incentive is, if you get a topper of the top 10, you will get 15 lakh rupees per topper and those kind of things. So here is a coaching institution which is trying to buy out potential toppers while the examinations are about to happen. The way we have marked out that this is the likely topper, that coaching institution and that faculty also knows who is amongst the student that they're teaching, who is a potential topper. So the hard work was done by one coaching institution, but the ad claim is by another coaching institution. And there is incentive structure, formalized incentive structure. Recently, Money Control reported about one such coaching institution which has offered a 15 lakh rupee for every faculty which brings in a topper. This is a racket that's on where the faculty, I'm sorry to say, behave like pimps. They behave like brokers. They behave like agents and not like teachers and not like faculty. It's a very, very serious issue that's happening at this point in time, where for money, for incentive, these faculty members are no longer teaching the students, but actually are more focused on buying a topper from some other place. And then the third part of it, which is the parent coming in. The parents are no less than some of the shameless MLAs and MPs. They negotiate. I heard an audio recently where faculty was saying, sir, we taught him, but he's demanding 20 lakhs to ensure that he doesn't go to another coaching institution and give them an interview saying that the student belonged to them also. Here is a coaching institution which actually taught them for the last 2 years and got them that proper rank. But the parent is negotiating with the faculty saying, if you give me so much money, I will be only exclusively with you, otherwise I will not be with you. It's a very, very serious case that's happening in. Let me explain to you what's happening at this point in time. So the question that we're talking of is we're talking about a story called the Great Indian Toppers Bazaar or the Great Indian Coaching Bazaar that you have in the country. Now this is the incentive structure that institutions have declared. If there's a topper that's created, 51 lakh rupees. If second ranker, it's 25 lakhs. Third ranker, 15 lakhs. 4th to 10th, 10 lakhs and so on and so forth. Now there is an incentive structure that's built in for a topper to move places, or incentive structure. Of course, they will always say that we are incentivizing students who became toppers from our institution. But the money is obscene. 50 lakhs, helicopter ride, 1 crore. I know a topper in Hyderabad who was sold for 2 crore rupees. 2 crore rupees. So that is the kind of dirty market that we're dealing with. Now this is a formal network. Now I'll show you one more thing also. This is a student who's writing to an institution saying that I've not studied with you, but your ad is claiming that I've studied with you. So what does the student write? The student writes saying that, listen, I did not study with you, so why are you putting my name in the picture of your ads? So the institution responds back to the student saying, thank you for reaching out to us. In reference to your email, we sincerely apologize to the inconvenience you faced. We humbly request you to be patient as we have forwarded your matter to our higher management for urgent follow-up and action. Kindly allow us some time to review. While all this is happening, the ads are running. Because this is a 7-day game. And these people are running the ads claiming a student who did not belong to them as if they have taught them. And the response to a student who complained saying, I never studied with you, why are you carrying my ad? This is the response that goes. Let me show you one more mail that I've seen. I am so-and-so's father. This is the name here. My son's video, we are blurring out the names because this is a common practice. So the idea is to ensure that everyone gets exposed so that these similar things don't happen. My son's video is being promoted by your group, but we are not giving our consent for the same. As per the latest Supreme Court guidelines, candidates' consent is required post declaration of the results. We had also, now this is a crucial thing, we had also returned the token amount which was transferred to us in the same account. So what's happened is here the parent has actually given his bank account. And then when the negotiation did not go his well, he's returning the amount and saying, don't use my name till you take confirmation from me. And this is the problem that we're dealing with. Kindly remove our video at the earliest, else we shall be forced to take legal action, report to government agencies and PMO. Everywhere the PMO comes in these days. But the thing is, the parent is writing to a coaching institution, don't use my name, don't promote it in my video, which means the video is there, and I'm returning the token amount. Where did the video come from? How did they get to know about your bank account? How did they pay you? Open questions. I'll show you another one. This is again another thing. This was written by a coaching institution to a student, and it says, we received news that you and your sister both got selected in NEET 2026. Congratulations on that. We can plan PR activity and media event for you to highlight your hard work. Kindly share both the result and your address so we can plan media event. Now, what they're saying is, listen, we're going to pay you money if you were to give me your names. Because these two students, the brother and sister, seem to have cracked the NEET examination, would have been toppers also somewhere. And this particular coaching institution is reaching out to them through WhatsApp and asking them whether, how they can plan the PR event, where there would always be also be exchange of money, negotiation and all those things. And in the negotiation, the parents come in, the faculty comes in, the institution comes in, and the negotiation is very smart. And the price is 20 lakh, 25 lakh, 50 lakh. If it's a topper, it goes up to 1 crore also. I know I told you in Hyderabad, there was one guy who was sold for 2 crore rupees. And they were taken to the original coaching institution was not even in touch. And they moved to a hotel, did not take anyone's calls for the next 3 days, and kept selling this whole data. Now move to the next one. Let's talk of how the toppers have this time. Genuinely, this particular student, Aryan Gupta, actually studied from Education Square. This is a genuine thing. Why do I say genuine? Because I told you, remember, that we actually spoke to most of the students much before the results came in. And we knew who the likely toppers would be because we saw the scores, the OMR sheets and all. We do keep our eyes and ears open to the ground of what exactly is happening, and we did discover who the toppers would be. So we spoke to Aryan Gupta. This was the interview that we did on Medical360, where it's a topper interview, and this was done much before the results actually came in. And there the student very clearly credited only Education Square as the classroom coaching thing and cited them for the reason for his success. Now move further, and there is a YouTube link. We can actually, the links would be there as you move along, right? Now at this point in time, what we saw is Narayana, Alan, Sri Chaitanya and Aakash are claiming them. Alan does that because they also get it verified from EY. Aakash has shown me the registration number of what they bought, and both are DLP, by the way. Both are distance learning products, DLP program. And this is also a DLP program, distance learning program. And both have, this is verified by EY, but Aakash also has shown me some documents where the student registered and used the DLP program at some point in time. But you also have Narayana and Chaitanya. But most importantly, the classroom coaching happened only at Education Square. This is very clear. But at this point in time, Aryan Gupta is all over the thing, and he's also endorsing everything.
So Aryan, I would like to know why did you choose Education Square for your coaching, or what are the factors that one should consider while considering a coaching institute for his or her preparation?
सबसे पहले कि जो टीचर्स हैं यहाँ के वो बहुत ज़्यादा सपोर्टिव थे और यहाँ से रिजल्ट्स आते भी थे, तो लाइक हमने प्रेफर किया कि कहीं बाहर जाने के बजाय घर के पास इन द कंफर्ट ऑफ होम यहीं पे कोचिंग ले लेते हैं। और यहाँ पे मेरे बड़े भाई ने भी आदित्य गुप्ता ने क्या कहते हैं 2 साल कोचिंग ली और ही आल्सो स्कोर्ड ब्रिलियंटली, सो आई हैड नो डाउट एंड टीम रियली their support was really obliging in providing us the examinations which helped us to gauge the real actual level of the tough examination that was RE-NEET 2026. Their paper analysis in classrooms after every test, and teachers who used to sit with us, and take doubts, like even raat ko bhi.
Do you think Narayana has played in your success, and how instrumental was it?
Actually, in my 2 years preparation, my teachers strongly recommended me to join the Narayana test series and the DPP and the question banks program.
Whether he studied there or not, I don't know, but he seems to be endorsing everything. I am the last person to, do anything to hurt a student. But this seems to be a clear case where there is an issue about the claimants, and Aryan seems to be endorsing that also. Let me show you another thing. And by the way, this doesn't stop here. Even where the student was actually born, which is, Iqbal Nursing Home. Now, if you be at Iqbal Nursing Home and Hospital, I'm immensely proud to share that Aryan Gupta, a child born in a hospital, has secured first position. He was born 18, 19 years back in a nursing home, and that nursing home is now being very happy that a child born in their hospital is now the topper. So you also sell that. Right. The next one is Sacred Heart Convent International School. Of course, the school normally claims that, and they also saying because Aryan's brother also at some point in time in last year has got a AR 54. So everyone seems to be claiming or having a role in the success of Aryan at this point in time. But when I see so many coaching institutions claiming Aryan, I have big question marks. How did Aryan allow that? Did Aryan actually use that? And I ideally would want to understand whether it's true and genuine, because every statement that Aryan is making is misleading a bunch of thousands of students to join that particular coaching institution. And I know for a fact that there are price tags attached to topper. So Aryan must at some point in time understand that this is likely to mislead. I'm not saying for one moment that Aryan did all these things. But Aryan should also come clean, because many of these names were not there in our original interview, where the student very clearly said that he studied in Education Square and Education Square has a role in his success. Now move to the next one, which is Alan's Panshul Bansal. Again, we interviewed a student this was after the result came in, we actually interviewed Panshul, and thankfully he's been claimed only by Alan, and so I'm so happy about that. The third one is Uplakshya Goyal. Now Uplakshya Goyal, he's an Aakash classroom coaching student. But Sri Chaitanya also claims him here. Right. Sri Chaitanya, by the way, also claims Aryan. I showed you earlier. Now, Uplakshya Goyal later gave an interview at some point where he said that there is no one who actually has a role. By the way, we interviewed him before the results, and the student very clearly said that the only people who had a role in his success is Aakash Institute, AESL or Aakash, right? And we did this interview also. So he's very, very clear of who played a role in their success. But at this point in time, others are also claiming it, including Sri Chaitanya, which is wrong. Because this again student, as I told you, we interviewed him much before the results came in, and he was very, very clear he's an Aakash student. Now the next part is Ayush Bhalotia. Thankfully, again, only one Alan is claiming it. There is no other claimant to it. So I'm glad that there is no cross claims that are happening. Then comes Kudale Shravani Krishna. This student has been claimed by Success Code Coaching Institute, Baramati, and again, there is no other coaching institution that's claiming it. I'm happy that that's what it is. Then come to this one, Riya Ranjan. Here there is no claimant at all. In all possibility, this girl, Riya Ranjan, would have studied on her own. She might have used some DLPs also, but thankfully her name is not there, so no one is jumping up the gun and claiming this girl, and that is so happy, because I want people to succeed despite the coaching institutions, and this girl seems to be doing that. Then comes AR7, Aryan Dubey. Aryan Dubey was very clear in Aakash student, he's a classroom student. And later, Alan also claimed it as online test series. Now, I don't know how much it is true, but there's an interview that happened later, and you must listen to this interview right now.
हेलो एवरीवन, मैं आर्यन दुबे हूँ. मेरी री-नीट 2026 में ऑल इंडिया रैंक 7, यूपी रैंक 1 है. मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ आकाश वाराणसी दुर्गाकुंड का स्टूडेंट हूँ. अगर कोई भी और प्लेटफॉर्म, कोई भी और कोचिंग मेरी फ़ोटो या वीडियो यूज़ कर रही है तो मेरे कंसेंट के बिना है, जो कि गलत है. और आकाश वाराणसी के अलावा मैंने किसी भी और कोचिंग का यूज़ नहीं किया और कहीं भी कोई और शिक्षा ग्रहण नहीं किया.
Where the student is creating only Aakash for the success of his success, where he got a 7th rank. Now we come to 8th rank, Geetansh Sarin. Geetansh Sarin, again, he's an Aakash student, NEET UG 2026 result, and he's a classroom student. So the important thing that I always want to tell you is go by what the classroom student is, because the DLP programs are being bought and sold. Classroom now, the student has to be in the classroom, and that cannot be faked or that cannot be fudged. Anything else seems to be up for sale, up in the market, because people want to be claiming the student, and they put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and all, and they keep doing this fine print where they hide this classroom and DLP and those kind of things. Then you have, by the way, we also did an interview of this student, Geetansh Sarin, much before the results came in, and here is the interview link, where he very clearly created only Aakash for the success. The 9th rank is Gaurav Singh, who's an Alan student, right, but claimed by Narayana also and Sri Chaitanya also. The thing about Sri Chaitanya is they never even talk of whether it's DLP and all. They just simply put it and take the ad, and they don't say where they studied, what they studied, how they studied, whether it's DLP or online test series or classroom. They don't say that, which is what the advertising standards mean. So for me, it's a very clear no-no. I don't go by what Sri Chaitanya says because they're not transparent with the information. For me, EY audited, so I'll go by what Alan got. The last one is, Mohanish Maruti Bhosale. Again, this student was claimed by Sanjay, Ghodawat, IIT and Medical Academy, which I'm glad that this is what it is, because only one claimant here, so it was all clean for me. Overall, if I look at this whole thing, the top 10 classrooms we're talking of, Aryan Gupta is Education Square for the classroom, Education Square. Panshul Bansal is Alan Classroom. Uplakshya Goyal is Aakash. Ayush Bhalotia is Alan. Kudale Shravani is Success Code Coaching. Riya Ranjan, there is no claimants for a coaching institution. Aryan Dubey is Aakash. Geetansh Sarin is Aakash. Gaurav Singh is Alan Classroom. And Mohanish Maruti Bhosale is Sanjay Ghodawat. So that is what you're dealing with. In all, what you're dealing with is 3, in the top 10 when you look at it, Alan has 3, Aakash has 3, Education Square has 1, Success Code Coaching is what 1, Sanjay Ghodawat has 1, and no claim by 1. And these are the top 10 that you have in the country. Now the big question that I always have, which I keep talking about, sometime back in 2022, I think, we did an article about Byju's. Some years back, let me talk to you why I'm saying this, why I'm so angry about it. Sometime back, we did a story on Byju's. When Byju's said that 37% of IAS officers of 2020 batch, for which the results came in 2021, were Byju's students, we actually did a story. And the story was where we actually busted every single thing. We actually reached out to every single topper that they claimed to be their own student. And the student said, we did not even study. My problem at that point in time was this. And this is the ad that Byju's took at that point in time, where they talk of 281 of the 761 ranks are Byju's IAS students. We reached out to each one of them and did a detailed article, and where every single student said that they never studied with Byju's. They only bought that free mock interviews and those kind of things. So the question that I raise at this point in time is, if the IAS officer or the future IAS of this country allow their name to be abused and misused to mislead students, what happens to a normal student? These are all potential IAS officers. They're going to rule the country. They're going to be our administrators at some point in time. And they have allowed their own names to be abused, misused to mislead a bunch of students. If IAS officer can do it, then what is a normal student? And that seems to be happening at this point in time. What is happening is the lure, the greed, or the incentive is so high, whatever name you call it. The incentive is so high, 25 lakh, 50 lakh, 1 crore and all, that some of these toppers are selling themselves and letting other institutions also claim that they studied with them. And the pathway is the distance learning program. And that is where the entire problem comes in. The problem comes in very clearly because the money is too high for them to reject. And across the board, I know for a fact that most of these toppers are approached by these coaching institutions, and at least more than half of them fall prey for that lure, for that greed, or for that incentive. And that is a serious thing. What would I do if I were an administrator? First of all, I would always say that the coaching institution should be punished, and the action should be punitive. This 10 lakh, 5 lakh penalty that they levy on them means nothing. For them, it is nothing, because when they can pay 50 lakh, 1 crore as an incentive, 10 lakh penalty is for them nothing. Motion was penalized last time around for claiming students that did not study with them to be their own students. And it goes on and on and on. The issue is this. The incentive is so high that parents are unable to refuse. And parents do, start negotiating at some point in time. So how do you stop that? By ensuring that after a result comes in, if the parents and students are also a party to this corruption, are also a party to this misleading the next batch of students, we must actually investigate their bank accounts of the coaching institution and of the student also, and understand what exactly happened and actually go after them. There must be a punitive action. There must be a transparency. You cannot let anyone mislead our students. And if the students, past students and parents themselves are a party to it, we must take them to task. I would never want a student to be punished. But if the student, even before they begin the career, is corrupt, what happens? And that is the question I'm talking about at this point in time. We're talking of the Great Indian Toppers Bazaar, or the Great Indian Coaching Bazaar that we call it. And we're talking of how the toppers are up for sale. The horse trading that you see in MLAs and MPs is nothing as compared to what is happening in the coaching institutions. Someone must take very serious view of this and ensure that students, parents, and coaching institutions are punished, and exemplary punishment, so that it doesn't repeat itself where a bunch of million vulnerable students are misled because someone wants to make money out of you. I hope the government takes action. I hope the Consumer Affairs Ministry takes action. I hope the Ministry of Education takes action, because this needs to be corrected. This needs to be cleared. This needs to be sorted. I hope this works. Thank you so much. Namaste.